goal today is going to be 100%ing Dave the Diver, including DLC. To do that, I'm going to catch a lot of fish, feed a lot of hungry people, and experience one of the most fun stories I've played through in a very long time. So let's get to it. The game opened onto a lovely blue ocean, where I was treated to a Quentin Tarantino-inspired shot of Dave's feet. The phone rang, and old friend Cobra asked me to visit the Blue Hole, a unique area where all manner of fish could be found. He mentioned a lucrative business opportunity, but first I had to get my feet wet learning the basics of movement, meleeing, and harpooning fish. Cobra told me he planned to run a sushi bar with a chef he knew, and offered me a spot on the team. I tried declining because I'm very funny, but Cobra wasn't having any of it. We went to the bar, where I was introduced to the passionate sushi chef, Bancho. As he was berating me on my choice of basic bitch sushi, an earthquake suddenly shook the bar. The place was absolutely trashed, and we desperately needed gold to fix it up, so off I went fishing. And many a fish there were. I'm probably going to get a lot of these names wrong, so I do apologise. We had blue tang, rainbow wrasse, cardinal fish, and many, many more. Oh, space. Oh, no. I wasn't ready for that. I started collecting trash like that crazy junk lady in Labyrinth, and tried taking out the local jellyfish population, to little effect. My pathetically small inventory was nearly full, so I headed back up to find night had fallen. The game gave me a breakdown of my dive, and I headed to the bar to watch its grand opening. Except I wasn't allowed to hide in the shadows. Bancho had given me the task of planning menus and serving dishes every night from now on. A brief tutorial was given, which saw me pour one of the worst cups of tea I've ever made in my life. Oh no. Ugh. How sloppy was that green tea? With the basics understood, it was officially opening time. Customers arrived, tea was shakily poured, and dishes were hurried to hungry mouths. It was quite a stressful job, given Dave's glacial pace and the constant having to stop and clean tables, but I managed to end the night with a whopping 80 gold and 5 artisan's flame, which would be used to research future dishes. The game then cut to a scene of a boat finding itself in a spot of bother. Oh no. What do you think you're doing? Hey! Have you got my Amazon parcel? The next day, I got a call from this rude bint called Ellie. She was a biologist studying the area and asked me to bring her some agar and red starfish. I also got access to a smartphone that had a bunch of nifty apps on it. So it was another day of getting my mitts on whatever would fit into my bags. That included a bottle of salt found in a cooking pot below a lurking moray eel. I'd find a lot of these pots all over the Blue Hole, and they had different ingredients in them, so they were worth checking out. I then met a mean old Titan triggerfish that kept trying to take a chunk out of me, reminding me of the fact that not every fish in the ocean is of a friendly disposition. I found a yellow box containing a one-time use oxygen capsule to replenish my own supply, and then I pestered this poor green humphead parrotfish. Hiya. Again, to not much effect. Bored with bullying fish, I spent the rest of the dive collecting stuff and laughing at silly weapons. What is the... Why? Oh! Back on the boat, I discussed the aggressiveness of some of the fish with Cobra, who put me in touch with Ultra Weeb Duff, a man equally obsessed with gun crafting as he was with anime. He asked me to bring him rope and scrap iron, so off I went. Further down, I came across an escape pod that could be used to head back to the boat if I found myself in trouble, which I shortly did when another Titan triggerfish came at me with jaws gnashing. A few good bites drained my oxygen, forcing me to abandon the dive early. That was terrible. No one talked to me about how the afternoon went. But it wasn't totally unsuccessful. I'd brought all the items Ellie wanted, and in return, she gave me some gold and ingredients. The resulting cash was enough for Cobra to start fixing up the bar, and I headed there to enhance my first dish. Is he going to chop that petal in half? Don't put your fingers underneath that. Oh god. Oh, that got a little bit morbid at the end. A few more dishes were enhanced for maximum profit and customer satisfaction, and I prepared myself for the upcoming cardio workout. Yet, despite the upgraded dishes, I ended up making less than I'd made the previous night, which was a bit of a bummer. The third day introduced me to Dr. Bacon, a scientist studying the ancient civilization of sea people once thought to be a myth. His assistant had located an artifact around 70 meters down, and Dr. Bacon offered a diving suit upgrade in exchange for retrieving it. This unlocked the iDiver app, which allowed me to upgrade my gear and scored me my first achievement. Today's dive was more fruitful, with a lagoon triggerfish and striped red mullet added to the list, as well as a collection of dinosaur bones and lead ore. I also found a more robust oxygen tank to replenish my supply, an underwater scooter for a quick boost of speed, and of course, another creature that wanted to kill me. Please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me, please. I'm busy. Don't do it. The Sea People artifact was located, but I soon regretted picking it up. What did I just do? What? No. Please, that's creepy. Stop. Thankfully, the enormous eyeball, undoubtedly attached to an equally enormous squid, had no interest in me. Slightly unnerved, however, I quickly finished the morning dive. Dr. Bacon took the artifact off my hands, promising more work and rewards in the future. Cobra informed me the bar had been repaired, and upon checking it out, I netted another achievement. I was given the option of customizing the bar, but as I had no interest in interior design, I left it alone for now. Ideas for attracting more customers were drummed up, which led us to the Cookster app. Bancho wasn't a huge fan, those whippersnappers with their silly food selfies, but I made a profile for the bar regardless. While here, I enhanced a few dishes, which resulted in more memery. Oh, he did the Salt Bay thing, no! Heading out, I noticed this black and white cat called Momo, who stared at me with the disdain only a feline could muster. There was an achievement for feeding him 20 times, so I'd have to keep an eye out for cat food. Back on the boat, I took a closer look at the Cookster app, discovering I could rank up Bancho Sushi if I got enough followers, likes, and so on and so forth. There was also this hilarious photo taken by Bancho. This is how you take a profile picture, it's hard. He's trying his best. I had some spare cash, so I bought a cargo box upgrade for more haul, and a harpoon upgrade to make catching fishies easier. Back in the water, I was met by a dolphin who seemed to be in distress. Following it, I discovered a pink dolphin trapped underneath a net. After cutting Pinky free, both dolphins thanked me with a cute little dance, and even left me a pearl as a gift. I didn't know dolphins had pockets. After that, it was the usual business of catching fishies. Black and white snapper, longfin batfish, red-toothed triggerfish, that is a hard one to say, and ornate wrasse, just to name a few. I even found a better underwater scooter, evident by the fact it was painted red. Everyone knows red vehicles are faster by nature. I finished up the dive, collecting the final items for Duff, and set him to work building my first gun, a basic underwater rifle. Oh, that was beautiful. Got a tear in my eye. Duff let me know weapons chests would now appear, and though I couldn't bring them back to the boat, any guns I found would be used to create blueprints to make a permanent version. Goodbye, eternity. What does that mean? I got another achievement for finishing the gun tutorial and headed back to Bancho Sushi. A woman called Yoshi arrived who Bancho seemed to know very well. A past event was brought up that supposedly saw him leave a cooking job in disgrace, but Bancho claimed it was the customer's fault and there was nothing wrong with the food he prepared. The problem turned out to be a meal made from shark head, which the customer had been too repulsed to even try. To prove the dish was in fact spectacular, Bancho offered to make it for Yoshi, and asked me to bring the necessary ingredients. Good thing I'd upgraded my harpoon. I enhanced some dishes to net another achievement, got on with the night's chores, and the next day, Dr. Bacon brought me a radar to track more sea people stuff. I got some more gear upgrades because more fishies equals more monies, and I prepared myself for the daunting task set out for me. It didn't take long to find a white tip reef shark, probably because it was attracted by my flailing as I tried to outswim a titan triggerfish. And thus I did battle with the deadly creature, dodging its charges and landing blows where I could. It finally succumbed to a well-placed thwack from my melee weapon, and I was awarded an achievement for my efforts. Back up top, a new character was introduced who reeked of Nintendo lawsuit. Sato let me know about the wonderful world of Marinka, cards that could be collected for every creature in the game. Being a fan of Pokemon card collecting, if only casually, I couldn't say no. And this would be my biggest challenge in Dave the Diver. Including DLC, there's over 200 creatures in the game. Every one of them has a card associated with them, and most rank from 1 to 3 stars depending on how you catch them. And of course, being a silly sod, I wanted to get those golden 3-star cards. Needless to say, this took pretty much the entire 45-hour playthrough. For now though, it was back to exploring, and I found lots of fun things like harpoon attachments with different elemental effects. Flame? How would a flame work underwater? Poison harpoon tip? That sounds evil. Whoa. I got chain lightning. Sadly, the fun of discovery was cut short by my lackluster suit that could only travel to a depth of 80 meters. We're gonna have to get a better diving suit. Oh god, why would you splurge me? Back at the bar, it was time to feed Yoshi that scrummy-looking shark head. Oh, she likes it. She's about to transform Sailor Moon style. Impressed with the dish, Yoshi offered her services as a recruiter. An ad was placed for cooks and servers, and I got on with the night, accumulating enough likes on the Cookster app to earn a bronze rating. The next day, Ellie phoned asking me to collect some blue and brown shells for her research paper, so I upgraded my diving suit and oxygen tank for deeper exploration. Back in the ocean, I met the dolphin again. Pinky was stuck in yet another net, this time being dragged upwards by unscrupulous pirates. Who hit me? I'm being shot. I eventually freed Pinky, and was rewarded with another cute dance by the two of them, along with a large gold bar. I collected the stuff for Ellie, got revenge on some cuttlefish for inking me in the face previously, and found a new fishy foe below 80 meters. But before I could deal with it, I was pulled into a cutscene with Dr. Bacon. A pile of rocks was blocking the path towards an artifact, so he suggested talking to Cobra for a solution. And as I was about to leave, a faint whispering could be heard. What? Who's talking to me? I quickly killed that bothersome fish, which turned out to be a great barracuda, and used the escape pod to surface. Cobra suggested using bombs to get through the rock pile, but as his supply was with the boat sunk by the giant squid, I'd need to retrieve parts of a drone that could be used to locate it. Dave, could you go into the sea and retrieve drone material? Oh my god, I don't have anything better to do. Back underwater, I found a new gun for Duff to make a blueprint out of, and caught this chonker known as a dusky grouper. I then came across a weird-looking shark that I didn't believe was a real creature, until Google told me otherwise, though the size in the game is a little exaggerated. To be honest, most things in this game are a bit exaggerated, so yeah. The first piece of the drone was located, but with bags already overflowing, I had to head up. Ellie thanked me for collecting the shells and introduced me to Eco Watcher, a mission-based app that would see me partake in side quests to kill or collect certain species and items. So another thing on my to-do list for 100% completion. Back at the bar, I hired Kyoko and put her in the dining area. Service went smoothly with her helping, and I ended the night with decent earnings. The next day saw me unintentionally catch my first 3-star fish, hilariously by failing a QuickTime event. It's not dumb if it works. I then suffered a mini heart attack when this absolute monstrosity turned up. What the hell are you? I'm trying to get away from dying. No, please. I don't have a safe down there. I managed to get away, but was stopped from going deeper by a lack of light source, so I spent the rest of the dive nearer the surface where I found the remaining drone parts. Cobra told me to come back tomorrow when the drone would be fixed, so I finished up with Eco Watcher missions. I managed to get to level 2 and scored a reward. Reward, an Eco Health Bracelet. I don't know what that is. The next day, Cobra handed me the bombs I needed, as well as informing me he was opening a shop to sell one-time use gadgets. More goodies were had when Dr. Bacon gave me an underwater camera for research purposes. Fully prepared, I headed back to the rock pile to blow it to smithereens. I headed inside what was known as the Sea People record chamber, and found this fancy mural that Dr. Bacon insisted I photograph. Look at this guy. This guy looks like, he is packing. I picked up the nearby artifact and later handed it to Dr. Bacon. And after he set off, another fellow called John Watson turned up to threaten me. He was part of the Sea Blue organization, and they weren't particularly happy about me blowing things up. We're watching you. This guy's intense. I got Duff to craft me a new weapon, which resulted in this over-the-top cutscene. Oh my goodness, the true Sailor Moon transformation. That night, a man called Vincent the Gourmet turned up at the bar, along with a crew filming for his show, Star the Chef. Insulted by the flagrant use of unconventional sushi ingredients, he challenged Bancho to make a delicious dish with only 2 days to prepare. I, of course, was tasked with finding the relevant ingredients. I got on with the night's chores, scoring another achievement for my diligent dish researching. That also got me the requirements for silver rank, which meant a visit from the Cookster critics. Hello. Cookster rating. Are they going to give me a special medal? Am I going to get an award? Oh, I'm stressed out already. Why are you smelling a live fish? Well, I got the approval of these random people who I don't know who they are. The problem was, higher rank meant more customers, and I was really struggling to keep up with demands. Oh, God, this is so tough. A cutscene played back in the record chamber, showing two sea people in a heated debate. Oh, hello. Oh, his face. The next day, Dr. Bacon handed back the artifact, which turned out to be a fancy bracelet with a cool effect. We needed to go deeper to find more sea people evidence, but I'd need a deep sea headlamp first and had to turn to Duff for help. He had one, but he wouldn't give it to me unless I found his precious Liz-chan figurine that went down with the boat. Before I set off, I took a second to appreciate another one of Bancho's photos. We got a silver trophy. We have been recognized. He's such an enthusiastic guy, isn't he? The figurine was found where expected, but Duff wasn't the only fan of Liz-chan. Oh no, he wanted oh no! Ever prepared, Duff had a gas cutter ready to go. With the gas cutter handed over, I dove back in, and was surprised to find my dolphin friends in trouble for a third time. So you're the one who keeps on interrupting our plans. I can tell just by your silhouette. The fight this time involved dodging bullets and landing well-placed harpoon shots, and eventually those pesky pirates were defeated, netting me another achievement. New undersea friend completed the dolphin's request, yay! I'm pretty sure this is attempted murder, but no one will know because we're in the ocean. The dolphin won't tell anyone. The dolphins thanked me yet again, and left a parting gift of a rusty dolphin necklace, which later turned out to be a charm that increased dash speed. Back at the sunken boat, I used my gas cutter to get through the hole and headed inside. Liz-chan, your master is coming. Don't say that, please. Oh, it's a big sleepy boy. A big squiddy sleepy boy. Oh, are you saw nothing? Oh no, it definitely saw me. Okay. The giant squid knocked me away with a blast of ink, and I had to swim back towards it while avoiding its tentacles. Hey, you can't get a double tap in. Right, that's it, Mr. Punk face. I missed. Overall, though, it was a fairly easy fight, and I managed to land the final blow. How many times I gotta shoot this guy before he learns his lesson? Oh, apparently that many times. Now give me back the anime doll. Oh, the merlady, mermaiden, merwoman. She got squished. The sea person, terrified by the sight of me, swam away. I collected a sampling of Tentacle, grabbed the Lias Chan figurine, and headed back up to make a weeb very happy, who in turn gave me the deep sea headlamp as promised. I phoned up Bancho, asking if he'd like a helping of giant squid, to which he suggested closing up shop for the night and having a meal with friends. Unbeknownst to us, we were being watched. What are you trying to do? Who are you going to shoot? I have a lot of blubber on me, it'll just bounce off. Sure enough, the next day, John Watson and his big shiny gun made an appearance. Hey, come on then. Oh my god, he's got a big gun. Whoa! My dude, that's... You're having a go at me for damaging the ocean? Luckily, even with a big gun to help him out, he was quite a pushover. All I had to do was avoid his grenades and wind-up punches, and throw a few harpoon shots where I could. Haha, fool. Oh, I missed. Did I get him? Oh, how dare you fight back against me, John Watson, formerly of the Navy SEALs. Arf, arf. I'm not scared of you. And your amazing pink flippers. Whoa, 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 whoa. Can we have some respect for the ocean, please? With that nuisance out of the way, I headed further into the depths, scoring an achievement in the process. Being a new area, and so far down, it was filled with many weird and wondrous creatures, like the fangtooth, Pacific fanfish, and the bitey blue-spotted stargazer. Oh, whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. I also needed a UV light to go through these tunnels where tube worms blocked my path. I finally found the two sea people, but as there was a problem of communication, Dr. Bacon told me to come back to the boat while he thought of a solution. Me too. He suggested making a translator using a sea people tablet, but first I'd need to get some parts. I then got a call from a guy called Udo, who asked me to keep an eye out for any aesthetically pleasing photo opportunities for his magazine. Back in the ocean, I came across a mischievous octopus who'd been hiding in some coral. Hello. You seem a friendly sort. I shall call you Cthulhu. Oh, no, okay, he didn't like that name. I chased the wily fiend all the way to a small crevice, using the gas cutter to break through. But the octopus performed another Houdini escape, and I could no longer follow. Oh, for goodness sake, I don't think you're going to fit through there, Dave, you're a bit chunky. It did, however, leave a bracelet for me, so maybe it wasn't so bad after all. I grabbed a Sea People stone slab from the nearby record chamber, and ended that day's dive. I handed in a bunch of Eco-Watcher missions which got me to level 3, and rewarded me with another fancy bracelet. Then it was time to head to Bancho's and watch some magic happen. I think that meant he liked it, guys. Vincent was thoroughly impressed with the dish, but he criticised the lack of drink options to go with it, giving us a refrigerator so I could now serve beer to customers. Oh. Did I do it? Nope, that was not good. Okay, that's as best as I can do. The next day, I came across my first photo opportunity, a loggerhead turtle which I diligently snapped as it munched on a jellyfish. I found the microphone Dr. Bacon needed, and then made the dumb decision of trying to take on that enormous shark who'd come by to say hello. It didn't kill him. Shit. Ow, 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 ow. This is bad, this is bad. Go, go. No, this is really bad, this is really bad, this is really bad, this is really bad. No. No. Oh! Running out of oxygen meant I would lose all but one item, which I frankly deserved for being so stupid. I did get an achievement out of it though, so I could argue it was intentional. Yeah, totally intentional. With the parts delivered, Dr. Bacon set off to make the translator, and Udo cheered delightfully when I showed him the photo of the loggerhead turtle, giving me a tidy little sum of gold for the trouble. The afternoon's dive was fairly uneventful, so I focused on getting more Marinka and admiring the beauty of Dave the Diver. Whoa! Whoa there, Bessie. Oh, it's so pretty. Hi! This game is so gorgeous. That night, a man called Otto arrived at Bancho's going on about moray eels. Naturally, this meant I would have to collect some for a dish, but they only appeared at night, so I was going to have to go diving in the dark. The next day, Dr. Bacon handed me the translator, and and I got a call from Duff, who offered to enhance my guns with various elemental powers. To make upgrades easier, any guns I found down below could now be disassembled for parts. I also managed to hit gold rank for the bar, which meant a visit from my favourite critics. She's got the gloves and everything. Not the UV light. These cutscenes are just ridiculous. I love them. Hey, we got gold! Well, gosh, we've been published. They said good things. Bless his little soul. I headed back to the Sea People to try out my new shiny translator. Your name sounds very similar to broken toilet lid. Why would you have toilets? You're in the ocean. How are you gonna poop in a toilet? Suam told me to collect some feather coral and lily coral and make it into a medicinal dish for the sickly Ramo. I quickly found the items, along with these cool-looking jellyfish. The red ones were slightly more dangerous though. Oh, it's a bomb, it's a bomb, it's a bomb. Yeah, it's a bomb, I should have known. That night, I tried my first dive in the dark, which was a little bit stressful. Wow, there's loads of new fish though. Oh, loads of mean fish. Hi! Whoa! Oh my god, too many. I did manage to get what I needed though, along with a bunch of other fish that made for lovely cards. Clearfin lionfish, long-spine squirrelfish, long-spine porcupinefish, moray. That night, the bar was a buzz of activity. I handed over the coral, which Bancho expertly fashioned into a porridge. There was a visit from a strange child called Mackie and her bad-mannered Cleone plushie. You rotten blowfish, you! Get me food! Food! Oh god, that hurts my throat. Combo and white trevalios, that word. And then we fed Otto his moray eels. What does he think of it? Oh my god, chew with your mouth closed, please. He's brought back to his younger days. He's doing that ratatouille thing. Aww. Come see me in the empty lot behind this building. No thank you, that sounds dodgy as hell. Thankfully, it wasn't as dodgy as I was expecting. What? There's more to this game? I now had access to a fish farm, and any fish I caught alive would have a chance to drop fish eggs. I could also either sell the excess fish or use them in the bar. The game then introduced me to special events, where serving certain dishes could net me a tidy profit. I headed back into the depths, grabbing the ingredients for Mackie along the way, and went to Suam with the porridge. Ramo, this is coral porridge, I prepared it myself, you cheeky bugger. Ramo was feeling much better, but demanded I escort her all the way to the village. A long and arduous trek made all the more difficult by having to carry her. The fearsome creatures along the way didn't help. Oh, this ain't good. This ain't good. Oh, no. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Unfortunately, the path to the village was blocked, and the only solution was to dislodge the rocks above, something I couldn't do with my current gloves. Luckily, Dr. Bacon had been listening in and offered his help. I spent the rest of the day's dive murdering fish indiscriminately, which netted me the 300 fish caught achievement. I then headed to the bar to feed Mackie. What do you think, puppet? Oh, he's doing a little dance, he must love it. Turns out she was looking for her father, a marine researcher, and that dish happened to be his favourite. He'd given her the Cleone plushie before he left, and she asked if we could capture a real one for her, offering a bug net for the job. Dr. Bacon returned with these special diving gloves, and I headed back down, catching whatever small critters I could with my fancy new bug net. I also found many nifty uses for my stronger gloves. Can I drop this rock on this guy's head? Just out of curiosity. Oh, it worked! Then my cheeky octopus friend appeared for another game of chase. Hi, he inked me again. It got away yet again, but left me another bracelet. Maybe it was just bored and lonely and wanted someone to play with. I returned to Suam and Ramo and dislodged 2 different piles of rocks to break through the debris. Ramo asked me to visit the village as she had a request, but we soon realised we were being stalked. Oh, I'm getting really spooky vibes. Yeah, me too, it's kind of creepy in here. Very, very dark. And also very shaky. Oh my, no. Jesus. Hi. What a cutie. Wolf eel? That's not a wolf. That's a leviathan. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, no, how? Wait, did I do it? Already? Are you kidding me? 3 shots from a tranquilizer gun? I took a slice of wolf eel and headed to the Sea People village, landing an achievement in the process and being introduced to Ramo's father, Tenzin. He wasn't keen on having a human skulking around the village, but Ramo told him they needed to make use of human technology and I was the one to help. Okay, sure. So Tenzin told me if I could prove myself to the villagers, he'd change his mind. I would need to come back tomorrow to help with any tasks, and was given a mirror for quick travel to the village. It had been a long day, and I was too late to help in the bar. I set about cleaning, to which Yoshi turned up, and spilled some history on Bancho. Turns out they both worked together at a posh 5-star hotel 12 years ago. One day, a fussy leading actress called Lois Crawford had arrived to critique the hotel's food. She was given the usual dishes and was fairly unimpressed, which enticed Bancho to bring forth the shark head. All done. Oh no, what have you done, you fool? She was disgusted, to say the least, and Bancho promptly quit working at the hotel in order to focus on improving his dishes. Yoshi ended the conversation on a happy note though, letting me know I was a good influence on Bancho and to keep doing whatever it was I was doing. The next day, I visited the Sea People village, eager to help in any way I could. Most of the people were actually very kind and curious towards me, especially Mima the dumpling lady. I am not scary, no, I am cuddly and round, just like you. The tasks were fairly trivial, delivering lunch to guards, placing flowers at a statue, and catching runaway seahorses. They did at least pay me in their currency, which I would be able to use later to buy things, so it was worth the time. I also got access to the seahorse races after rounding them all up. They're nothing super special, but they're a fun little thing to do if you find yourself bored and have a bunch of spare seahorses lying around. I love how everyone else is just chilling watching and Dave's just going absolutely mental in the corner. I plan to come back later and win them all for my completion list, but for now, it was back to catching things with my bug net. Uh-oh. Oh, what's going on? Oh, that's a big one. I think there's gonna be a big mama that's very upset with you. I'm sorry. Oh no. It just ate me. Oh, I've just been eaten. Oh no. The Cleone Queen was a bit of an awkward fight due to annoying habits like spitting poison and attempting to eat me. She did manage to do me in the first time, but I had my wits about me the second go. Oh my goodness. That was a bit stressful. Oh, it's not dead. Okay. No, 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 no. I took my spoils from the Cleone Queen, and after finding a photo of Maki and her father lying below, I could only assume the worst. I gave the Cleone to Maki, along with the photo, and she found a button on the back that played a message from her father. He regretted moving around so much for work, which made Maki struggle to fit in, and hoped she'd one day fulfill her dream of becoming a chef. A dream that would soon become a reality when she begged to work at the bar, to which Bancho wholeheartedly agreed. I have a small child working after hours in the sushi restaurant. I'm sure there's a law against this. We weren't done with random visitors, however, as in came Michael Bang. Oh, Michael Bay. That's brilliant. Bancho was a fan of his movies, and so Michael Bang gave him 3 days to come up with a spectacular dish. The only issue was, Michael wasn't keen on the local rice. Luckily, Otto had been listening in and knew what to do. Despite that night's bar running feeling like an absolute disaster... Who wanted this one? Oh, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I managed to make the most profit so far. I promptly spent it on a harpoon and cargo box upgrade and headed to see what Otto had been up to. How much stuff is there to do in this game? I now had access to a Stardew Valley-esque farm where I could grow rice and later various veggies. It was back to the Sea People village where I picked up my next series of quests, and oh boy, there were a lot of them. I collected tube coral for Mima to use in her dishes, gathered the ingredients for another coral porridge to give to the sickly blacksmith, retrieved a stolen bull from the stomach of a greedy megamouth shark for the sea children, and rescued a frightened baby squid who'd gotten lost. There he is! Hello, Squeaky! I'm trying to help you! I also tried my hand at some gambling, winning back a sea lady's beluga whistle, which she then gave to me as thanks. With all my good deeds done, I headed back to Tenzin. He explained the importance of the huge divine tree at the centre of the village, with its fruit used in many aspects of their daily lives. Recently, however, the glacier surrounding the tree had been melting, causing sea people to fall sick. Of course, he tasked Muggins here with checking it out, but first we'd need the key to the glacial passage from the nearby abandoned cave. Oh, nothing that happened for the last century. That means we're just in time for something to happen. It was getting late though, so I headed back up top. I'd totally forgotten about the jellyfish party and thus didn't have much to serve, resulting in disappointed customers and equally atrocious earnings. I wasn't done with the night though, and got to experience one of the weirdest sections of the game involving Duff and his waifu. A live stage begins in Duff Street. What? How? What has this got to do with diving? I think my game almost crashed. It's too much. Rhythm games are definitely not my thing, and I figured I'd done terribly, but Liaz Chan was impressed enough to throw Duff some love. He just had a heart attack in his bed and died. That's how we found him. Oh no, he's still alive, never mind. The next morning, Suam guided me to the abandoned cave, though it wasn't as abandoned as I was led to believe. Oh god, there's zombie mermaid people. Okay. The sea people, zombies, I guess, weren't an issue for now, and I got on with the nearby puzzle that required me to stack blocks in a certain order. Solving it revealed the key I needed, but in Indiana Jones fashion, the cave shook and broke apart the grates. Luckily, I may be chunky, but I am also stealthy, and I made it out with no issues, only to be met by John Watson sporting a state-of-the-art mech suit. Oh, for goodness sake, of all times. Another boss battle ensued, and it was the usual affair of dodging punches, while tricking Watson into shooting himself with his own missiles. Nice undies, my guy. I collected the debris left behind from his mech suit and headed to Tenzin with the key. He gave me some backstory into the Sea People's history, explaining how a technician called Dash had used the divine tree fruit on an ancient creature called Yowie, as well as his own people. The results were catastrophic, with the experimented on sea people eventually morphing into the zombie-like creatures known as Gadon. There was most likely more of them in the glacial passage, so I'd need to be careful. I spent the rest of my dive doing various tasks around the village, like helping the blacksmith gather divine fruit from the tree. In return, he promised to give me access to his store when he was well enough to open again. And I checked out the Sea People library, where this lovely lady asked me to retrieve a stone slate from the record chamber in preparation for a wedding. In return, I was allowed to watch the joyous occasion, which didn't end as well as hoped. Luckily, Cobra, ever the resourceful man, had just the thing to fix the statue. Another earthquake shook the area, with Sato turning up shortly after to mention the arrival of a super rare boss. Gotta catch them all, I suppose. Sure enough, after travelling through a vortex, I found this monstrosity. It's a ginormous hermit crab, isn't it? Oh my god, it genuinely is.
Okay, yeah, that's normal.
He was mean for sure, but thankfully not too hard to beat. Between dodging his slams and claw swipes, I had to pick up explosive barrels and drop them on top of his makeshift shell.
Ah, okay.
I repeated this a few more times, and without his armor to protect him, he buggered off. I collected a delicious giant serving of crab meat and headed back up top to admire my new card. The next day, I tended to my field of freshly grown rice and learned there was a tuna party coming up, to which Cobra promised me a nifty tool for catching them. I made sure to feed Momo, which I've done a few times now, upgraded my diving suit, and headed back to the village to fix that statue. No sooner was I done than the group of mer children told me Marrow had gone missing at the underwater lake. They have guards who can swim and fight a lot better than I can, but no, send the chubby guy with the makeshift flippers. Kids are pretty tough though, and I was sure she'd be fine for a few more hours. Instead, I helped the gardening dude by fetching a book from the library.
There are pictures of the divine tree and its fruit on the cover. He likes plants, so maybe this one. I bet it wasn't.
In return, he gave me a seaweed seed and told me to speak to the local farmer to plant it.
Dugong!
The farmer wasn't up for helping a human, and would only offer me a patch of land if I proved I could make a tasty seaweed-based dish. It was also time to head into the glacial passage, which got me another achievement. It was full of pretty murals to take photos of, and weird little fishies like barrel eye, peacock squid, and vampire squid.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of puzzles to get done too, with most involving flipping switches or rotating gears to make new pathways. And as expected, the area was infested with Gadon. Luckily, the divine tree fruit proved useful, in more ways than one. I was able to harness its energy to create a beam of light to melt the ice, but I didn't have the right tool to rotate the mirror, so I'd have to come back later. Marrow was still missing, so I thought it best to go look for her. Using a pickaxe, I broke through the debris leading to the underwater lake, and forever memorized the breathtaking view by snapping the shoddiest photo possible. I finally found Marrow being terrorized by this hideous creature.
It's a goblin shark. Is it a goblin shark? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Oh, it is a goblin shark. It is horrifying. I don't want to put it down. No. How is this missing? There we go. Oh.
Ugh. I collected the spoils of war and delivered Marrow back to the village, where the children gathered round to gawp at my terrible photo.
That photo is terrible, Dave. Come on.
Back in the depths, I noticed bits of jellyfish floating around, which led me to a house. Inside, a merman called Suchi was struggling to control his pet turtle Dona. Thinking quickly, I grabbed hold of Dona's tail and gave her a good shake, dislodging a plastic bag stuck in her throat. Suchi was appalled and wanted to give those pesky littering humans a piece of his mind.
Yeah, you tell him. Give him that half-moon kick. That is quite an impressive kick, actually.
Back on the boat, Cobra suggested using a crowbar to move the giant mirror, but the one he ordered had sunk with the boat. And besides, he was more interested in catching some big juicy tuna. He gave me some steel net sensor traps and an underwater drone, so off I went to hunt the speedy buggers. Thankfully, they were very simple to catch. Place the trap, and wait for it to trigger, and then use the drone to send them up top. I spent the rest of the dive filling in the missing blanks in my Marinka collection, as well as coming face to face with a thresher shark.
Oh my god! A little prior warning would be nice. Oh god, please! I just got here. I didn't even know you were here, leave me alone!
That wasn't the only shark I came across either.
Whoa.
I found a bunch of seahorses down here for my collection, as well as that missing crowbar, guarded by a pack of angry bouncing crabs.
Is this your hut? Oh my god, they bounce. What? Oh my goodness. Stop bouncing, I need to kill you. There we go. Oh.
1 QTE later, and the crowbar was mine. That night at the bar, Michael Bang turned up to sample the dish Bancho had made especially for him. He was so pleased he left us a signed poster to hang in the bar.
Wow, how generous of him.
I also asked Bancho for ideas on a seaweed-based dish, and ever the resourceful man, he had a plan. I upgraded some more of my gear because money was rolling in by this point, and headed back to the glacial passage to melt that ice blocking my path. There were even weirder looking fish only 1 floor down.
What are you? Oh, I don't like it. Oh my god, what is that supposed to even be?
I caught the aptly named pelican eel, along with this cute little Dumbo octopus, and I made sure to get some snaps of the murals for Dr. Bacon.
Lovely.
There were more puzzles to get done, and eventually I made it to the final room, where a surprise awaited me.
Oh my goodness, what is that? I don't know, Dave. I'm just as confused as you are.
This behemoth turned out to be a giant Gaddon, and he wasn't too pleased to see me. The Gaddon gave chase, with me having to dodge icicles and hand swipes.
Dodge out the way, Dave!
Q! E! I eventually made my way out of the tunnels, and with quick thinking, pulled a nearby stake out of the rocks.
There better not be another quick time event. Oh, who grabbed me? Was it Swam? Did Swam come and save my life? Who is that? I can't believe it.
We headed back to Tenzin, and as the glacial area would be too cold for me to explore, he gifted me divine tree fruit cloth to fashion into a warmer diving suit. I found Suchi and Dona out hunting for food, which gave me the opportunity for a lovely photo. And later, I had a surprise meeting with a humpback whale.
Oh, look at him. Hi.
It seemed to be trying to tell me something, so I recorded its cries and sent it to Ellie, who told me it was looking for its baby. That night, I fulfilled a photography task for Udo, which meant setting up some lighting and waiting for a manta ray to appear.
This is a terrible photo, by the way. It's out. It does not look in focus. But yippee, we did it!
Despite my appalling photography skills, Udo was extremely happy. I paid a visit to the fish farm to open some extra areas for all the new zones I had visited. And at the bar, we got another visitor, this time a fellow called Sammy. He wanted some vegetable sushi, but as we didn't sell it, he started to leave.
What? Hot pepper tuna. This is amazing.
Turns out Hot Pepper Tuna was his song, and pleased to know Bancho was a fan, he gave him 3 days to prepare a delicious vegetable sushi. I called resident farmer Otto for advice.
I like how getting all this fish is no problem, but vegetables are like, oh no, I don't know.
Sure enough, the next morning, Otto had tilled the soil and given me a bunch of seed packets to grow my own veggies. Back on the boat, I handed the divine tree fruit cloth to Dr. Bacon so he could make me a special diving suit. There wasn't much to do in the meantime, so I spent the dive catching 3-star fish and gathering the ingredients for that seaweed dish.
Here is my sloppy bag of stuff.
During the afternoon dive, I heard a faint cry.
Oh, baby! I hit the baby!
Tracing it to this cave, I pulled the rocks out of the way, and inside I found a frightened baby humpback whale.
More! I did it.
Leading it back to its mother was a very slow task, as I had to keep stopping to deal with barracuda, lionfish, and even a pesky shark.
Oh no, I can't deal with 4. Help. Help. Oh. Oh, that was brilliant. Don't mess with Mama. Oh.
With mother and baby reunited, I headed back up top, but was treated to one last visit from the pair.
Hello, baby. Oh. Bye-bye. Oh, that made me feel all giddy, that did.
No. Sato then pedalled over to tell me this stormy weather meant another boss card was up for grabs, so off I went to do battle.
Sure, I love dangerous creatures.
What are you?
Oh, you're one of them, you're one of them lobsters that can punch really hard, aren't you? The mantis shrimp. Oh, no.
The mantis shrimp had one mean arm that meant even if he didn't directly hit me, the punch was strong enough to cause currents that would blow me away. With enough shots, he backed away though, and the force of his jump dropped a chain I could use to lift the nearby claw. Cut off a piece of shrimp tail and headed outside, where I came across possibly the weirdest creature in the game.
Oh yeah! What an ugly little... Look at his little legs! No, I didn't paint the lips on. What the...
I admired my beautiful new card, and then quickly did a round at the bar, before meeting Cobra for a spot of espionage. The plan was to steal some mechanical parts from Sea Blue, so I followed one of their drones to their secret underwater base. I snuck inside and made a shocking discovery.
No! All these assholes!
I put my acrobatic skills to the test.
Can we just see that one more time?
And despite getting caught a couple of times, I made it to the top floor, where I unintentionally scored an achievement for being a little piggy.
Oh, what's this? Military rations? What ration eater ate rations?
I found the mechanical parts in a nearby office, but was quickly spotted.
Oh my god, Dave, you're not going to do it, are you? Oh my god. He went for it.
The next day, I handed over the parts to Dr. Bacon, who let me know the diving knife could now be upgraded and could even be used to break apart ore nodes. Sato turned up yet again and introduced me to my least favourite aspect of Dave the Diver. Gyao is basically Tamagotchi, which I have absolutely no interest in, but one of the achievements meant I had to raise 5 of these little buggers to maturity. That meant checking them after every dive to make sure that they were fed, happy, clean, and healthy. It's very boring, but, achievement means needs must. I headed to the Sea People village to catch up on things, and thanks to all the help I'd given Mima, her dumpling restaurant was finally open for business, scoring me an achievement.
Dumplings in the water, Mima's restaurant open, yippee!
And this amazing cutscene when I bought a dish.
She's going all Matrix on me. Delicious.
I got another achievement when I visited the blacksmith, who had also opened shop. I then headed to the seaweed farmer to give him the dish he requested, witnessing another hilarious cutscene.
Brilliant. Yep, I'd say he was a fan.
He started work on a special area of the seaweed farm for me, and with the village business sorted, I headed back into the depths to fill in more of those cards.
That actually worked, I can't believe it. Bye!
On the next dive, I didn't realise I was in a new biome until I was mauled by a school of nasty little striped catfish.
I don't think Ow, 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 ow. I'm too overweight.
I took the opportunity to harpoon whatever I could, before heading back to the boat, where Otto let me know the veggies were ready. Things apparently grow very fast in the blue hole. That night, I trained some of my workers, a mechanic I'd totally forgotten about, and in doing so, Kyoko learned a new skill which would be a godsend for busy nights. I did the same for Maki, who became even more proficient at cooking, and prepared tuna for that night's party. It was very successful.
That was a bit 10,000.
In the morning, Dr. Bacon brought my snazzy new suit. Dave looked absolutely fabulous in that shade of blue, and after upgrading some more equipment, I headed to the glacial area and scored another achievement. I got to work grabbing every fish in the vicinity, polar eel pout, Arctic cod, and icefish to name a few. There was also jade to be found, which would fetch a pretty penny at the Sea People village, as well as aquamarine ore that would occasionally freeze me when I hit it. The topaz was less bothersome to collect, and after that I took a snap of a lion's mane jellyfish, complete with narwhal photobomb.
Narwhal, narwhal, living in the ocean, causing a commotion. Narwhals, narwhals.
I couldn't travel any further down due to the excess heat coming from below, so I busied myself taking photos for Dr. Bacon and discovering areas of future interest. Back at the village, my little corner of seaweed farm was ready for planting, which got me another achievement. I noticed the blacksmith's cough didn't seem to be improving, so I asked Mima what to do, and she suggested a meal of horsehair crab. Otto told me he could make the crab trap, but I would need to get him a tiger shark tooth, my favourite fish in the ocean. On the boat, I handed Dr. Bacon the photo of the stone slab text, and was treated to a minigame where I needed to clean it up.
I wish cleaning my house used this sort of technology.
It turned out to be a spell which I would need to ask the Sea People about. At the bar, Sammy turned up to try out Bancho's vegetable sushi.
Oh, this is amazing.
Otto then arrived, and we got an EastEnders-style story moment. Turns out Otto and Sammy were father and son. Otto had been trapped on a desert island for 8 years, but after escaping, he didn't feel the need to contact his family.
And they all lived happily ever after. That was random, though. Indeed, Dave, indeed.
The next day, Udo called with a challenge.
What do you mean you're that report from before? Isn't this the guy we've been talking to for like the last how many hours?
He wanted me to catch a special fish known as a fishmon, and one of these challenges would be available every week on a Saturday until I caught them all. He also handed me a fish radar that would make the job of catching all these 3-star fish a heck of a lot easier.
You can see your best grade fish, how many fish you have in your restaurant, and fish. Yes, oh my god, finally. I'll know which ones I'm missing. Oh-ho!
I visited the farm to find Sammy was now a permanent resident there.
Chickens! Oh my goodness, it's full on going Stardew.
He would tend to the chickens while his dad took care of the rest of the farm.
I shall call it Larry. There we go.
I took the previously deciphered spell to Niamo, who explained it was used to open 3 doors in the glacial area. These areas would then give me access to switches to open the Divine Tree control room, but I'd have to take Suam with me to recite the spell, as I couldn't speak Sea People-ish.
I like the gyrations. Oh, it worked. I guess the gyrations are an important part of the spellcasting.
Inside were many traps to avoid, a puzzle that reminded me of a giant pinball machine, and of course more fishies to catch. I also had to rotate this statue's arms and head in order to get it in the correct position to light up the first switch.
What'd I do? Oh, magic. Oh, this was like the volcanic stuff, wasn't it?
1 down, 2 to go. Back at the village, there was a bit of a crisis as the resident beluga had gone missing.
Well, where would I hide him? Mind you, I can carry like 100 kilograms of fish, so yeah, maybe I should be a suspect.
I had other plans for the time being, so the beluga had to wait. I got Duff to craft me a fancy tranquilizer sniper rifle for the biggest boys of the ocean, and then I went in search of that elusive fish for Udo.
That's not the time. Yep, that's great, but I've got kind of a shark on me. Oh, he's coming at me. Why is he coming at me? I thought they were friendly.
It was an aggressive little bugger, but a few well-placed harpoons finally defeated it. Then it was time to face off against a scary tiger shark for that darn tooth.
Oh, I got him. Oh, that was actually easier than I thought.
Shockingly for a shark, this one had no teeth to spare, so I'd have to hunt another one later. Back on the boat, Udo was pleased with the funny fish I brought him and promised me a cut of the earnings on Monday. Back at the bar, Vincent turned up with his camera crew and a chef who I will refer to as Chinese Dave. Coincidentally, the theme this time was Chinese food, and as usual we had 2 days to prepare. Back in the ocean, I went after another tiger shark. Thankfully, this one wasn't toothless.
Oh, let's see what he's doing. He just pulled that out of his pocket, did he? That's him swearing because it's going all wrong and he's missing one of the screws. Oh, nice. Good job, buddy.
I put the newly made crab trap to good use, and along with some bait and a little bit of patience, snagged my first 3-star crab. I also came across a shark that could rival that red-lipped walking fish for ugliness.
What the actual living f*** is that? Greenland. God, it's ugly. Aren't those super, old? Really, really old sharks, and I just murdered it.
I heard a voice coming from a nearby wall of ice, and after goading a narwhal into breaking it, headed inside only to get caught in a very strong current.
Oh, I want that. I want it. No, please. Oh.
At the end of the tunnel, I found Suchi and Dona, who'd become trapped in here by the current also. We came up with the idea of using Dona as a catapult, with Suchi's clothes acting as the elastic.
Wait, how do I... I'm so sorry, Donna. Oh, that was terrible. That was terrible. That was awful. God, how many times I gotta do this? Jesus.
It took a good number of tries, but we eventually broke through.
Beautiful. Someone save the turtle. Dave with the style points there.
Suchi thanked me and handed over an ice pick which would prove useful later. I then got on with the beluga retrieval mission, finding the very sick creature in the glacial maze. The culprit wasn't far.
It was you. Did you do this?
I gave chase, taking care to avoid its poisonous splurges of ink, and eventually cornered it further down in the maze.
I'll rescue you. I'm a nice person. He gave me stuff. You just pooped it out.
The items it pooped out included some Antarctic octopus antidote, which I administered on the beluga.
Yay! Oh, it's so cute.
I sent it back to the village and headed there myself to give Mima the horsehair crab I'd caught in a trap. She cooked it up, and I brought the meal straight to the blacksmith. With the blacksmith sorted, I headed back up to the boat, ending the night by getting to level 4 in the EcoWatcher app. The next day, Udo let me know the photo of the strange fishy was a hit with readers, and awarded me a generous 1,000 gold for my time. I took a second to appreciate the photos on the Cookster app.
Oh, it's the pink one. Beluga! Just looking in like, hey guys, how you doing?
And then I headed towards the next area housing a control room switch. However, the current was too strong for me.
And you told me to come here. What do you want me to do about it? Oh, it's the beluga. Hello.
The beluga was willing to give me a ride, and together we slowly made our way through the tunnel, smashing through ice blocks, avoiding poison spewing an enemy, and outrunning exploding jellyfish.
Oh my goodness, that is a big jellyfish.
The phantom jellyfish was a bit trickier than other bosses I had come across, with a bounce attack, ability to spawn smaller jellies to chase after us, and bullet hell poison for good measure. Eventually, we beat it with a well-placed headbutt to its weird glowing eye. As is tradition, I claimed my prize and headed into the next room to flip the switch. There was less heat now, so I could travel further down into the hydrothermal vents. But first I was curious about this crack in the floor I'd found. I had to travel quite far to find enough rocks to smash it with, but finally, with the third rock, I broke through.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go? What? 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 Why did I do this then? I feel robbed.
I started exploring the hydrothermal vents, but found my diving suit wasn't suitable for the depths.
Okay, no, we have to go back. This is like a critical depth. Oh my god.
As I was heading back up, I was treated to a view of this beautiful yet otherworldly looking bowhead whale.
They're kind of alien looking, aren't they? Like terrifying but majestic at the same time.
Back on the boat, I spent my hard-earned pennies on getting that much-needed diving suit upgrade, and then headed to the bar to feed Momo. Bancho let me know Momo had been sneaking off every night to goodness knows where, and told me to keep an eye on him. The next day, I went to the village to do my usual task of catching up on quests, and was informed by Lynchen that her baby squid had run off again. Perhaps you could invest in a leash or something. She told me to look for him in the glacial passage, and sure enough, after following a glowing jellyfish, I found Selgio the squid trapped behind a block of ice. How fortunate that Suchi had given me that ice pick earlier. I enticed him out with bits of food, and caught the little troublemaker in my net. Lynchen was very grateful and awarded me with some more sea people cash. With my new diving suit equipped, I went exploring the hydrothermal vents, coming across yet another funny photo opportunity for Udo.
Oh my god, look at them!
I also found another ore node, this time containing rubies. Somehow, it could set me on fire despite being surrounded by water. And a new area meant lots of new fish to catch, like this falcatus with built-in TV signal.
What the heck are you? You got a little antenna on you.
The Dunkleosteus was my favourite though, a prehistoric fish that comes built with its own set of armour and nasty-looking makeshift teeth.
Oh my goodness! Hi! With the big sharp pointy teeth!
There was still one more room to find, and after a bit of searching, I spotted Suam outside the entrance. As the area was only partially filled with water, we'd need to work together to get through.
Look at his little walk. Da 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 da. Yeah. Oh my god, the waddle! No, the waddle!
Combining Dave's ability to land walk and Suam's skill at swimming through currents, we slowly got through the tunnel, puzzle by puzzle. We eventually found 2 switches which we pulled simultaneously, releasing the water and allowing us to group together. And then there was this section of the game.
Wait, how am I?
It was a bit difficult to get my head around at first, but I managed to get the hang of it and was completing puzzles in no time.
I'm holding the buttons, but nothing seems to be happening. Okay, Dave, hold it. Oh. Okay, well that works, I guess.
The area culminated in a section where I had to have Dave hold up a block to protect both of us from falling icicles, and we eventually made it to the final room. Hi!
What the f*** is that?
The Helicoprion was actually very easy to beat. Dave would trick it into charging near the divine fruit, and Suam would hit the fruit to temporarily blind it. This would give me the chance to shoot. A few more goes of this, and the beast was slain.
Oh yeah! Teamwork makes the dream work, baby! feel a bit sorry for it, like nearly extinct, and I just murder it.
Munchies were pocketed, and we both pulled the switch to light the final device above the control room. Bing! There was just one issue. The overgrown roots of the divine tree were preventing the door from fully opening. To make matters worse, John Watson turned up for one final fight, now in a special military submarine. Unsure of what to do, I swam around aimlessly while trying to avoid his Dave-seeking missiles.
He's doing it. Oh! There's a mosasaur. Why is there a mosasaurus? It's a chronosaurus. Okay, my apologies.
The Chronosaurus was the toughest foe yet, and all I had to defend myself with was a piece of the late John's submarine. Luckily, it was the part that fired missiles.
I'm scared. No, I don't like it. I'm too scared. Breathing fire. That doesn't seem like normal things that I am dead. Okay. Can you just kill me because there's no oxygen? So, yeah.
I didn't feel much more confident the second time around. But I did finally manage to defeat this prehistoric pest.
Oh, finally. Jesus. Too much, too much.
While pondering what to do about the control room, a drone appeared piloted by Duff and Dr. Bacon. The drone just so happened to have a laser cutter attached to get through the tree roots, but I'd need to wait 2 days for it to do so. I grabbed my dinosaur nuggies and headed back to the boat, handing in eco-watch emissions and admiring my growing card collection. That night, Vincent and Chinese Dave came back for the competition. This ended up being another crazy minigame where I assaulted my mouse and keyboard as I prepared dinner.
I'm holding it, I'm holding it.
Bam!
Oh god, this really doesn't look appetizing, does it? Oh yeah, baby.
Of course, Bancho won because he is the greatest chef and I am the greatest QuickTime eventer. Vincent showered Bancho with praise, and the group left for the night, allowing me to get on with the sushi run. As I was cleaning up shop, I heard Momo meowing outside. I decided to follow him, which required me to occasionally duck down or do a frankly awful cat impression.
Oh, kittens! I'm a nice person. I feed you high quality cat food. Yes.
I brought the feline family to show Bancho, who was more than happy to keep the trio at the bar. I also got an achievement for being such a good detective. There wasn't much to do until the drone broke through the tree roots, so I spent the day tending to my fish farm and looking for missing fish with my awesome fish radar. I laid traps for juicy lobsters and found some speedy marlin, which I wasted no time in catching. The sea people also tasked me with finding a baby manatee lost somewhere in the glacial area, and you wouldn't believe where I found it.
Do not tell me that this is... I already broke this. I did all that work earlier for nothing.
Magically, there was a cave here now, and inside, the frightened baby manatee.
Oh, he's such a good boy. Yes. Oh, yeah, yes.
I led it out of the cave, fighting narwhals and poor beagle sharks as I did so, and sent it on its way.
Off you go, then. You silly creature.
More animal collecting ensued, and I stumbled upon another photo opportunity that, in my attempt to get a bonus reward, was too slow to take.
Where'd it go? Come back. I didn't get the photo, come back.
I'd have to come back another day to get that photo, and I made sure to not waste time snapping the next opportunity that came along.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, perfect shot.
I carried on exploring, eventually finding the last weapon needed for Duff's blueprint collection. The day's excitement was over, so it was back to the bar, where Vincent returned yet again with a Gordon Ramsay lookalike. This week's challenge was Fry the Sea.
I thought it was giving me the middle finger then.
On the 26th, I finally got to experience the Dredge DLC, with the day opening on extreme fog and a slightly offbeat tune.
Oh, it's a foggy. Sorry, foggy thick. Foggy thick.
I'd accumulated enough social points for platinum, so it was time for another hilarious cutscene.
Oh, yeah. Platinum rank, baby. Bancho's sushi regular achieved platinum rank in Cookster. Yippee!
I spent the day catching various big fishies, including the armor-plated tank in the hydrothermal vents, snapped that sneaky coelacanth photo, and grabbed a vampire squid on the way up for Bancho's dish. Night fell, and this is when the Dredge DLC got interesting. The travelling merchant from Dredge turned up to tell me all about aberration fish and the hooded figures who'd pay good money to eat them. And so the creepy night's fishing began. I picked the Fog Coast to dive into, and it didn't take long to find some icky abominations. Grotesque mackerel, fanged cod, three-headed cod.
Oh no, there's loads.
Yeah, there were quite a few to collect, and given they all had cards associated with them, I couldn't refuse. The night culminated in a fight with a sallow sailfin.
Whoa!
And once I'd finished it off, I headed up top ready to serve those creepy hooded figures.
Hey, my man, would you like a green tea?
Sadly, it wasn't as exciting as I was hoping, as the hooded figures just acted like regular customers, only with more daring palates. The good news was, any nasty fish they didn't eat, the travelling merchant bought instead, and I made a tidy profit by the end of the night.
Woof! It's the most money we've ever made in one night.
The day had come to head into the control room. I quickly bought some upgrades, and I made my way down. More puzzles abound, this time involving volcanic snails and counterweights.
How could you do this to me? We were partners.
I was also under attack by these grumpy Megalograptus, who proved to be surprisingly agile. I could use the volatile divine tree fruit to blast through any hardened tree sap blocking my path, and with the unwilling aid of the volcanic snails, caused an eruption that gave me access back to the first room. I eventually found myself in a Ridley Scott's alien-inspired area.
Ugh, it's all sticky. Alright, who did that? Oh no. Ugh.
These newborn whatever they are turned out to be quite aggressive, forcing me to use this device to blast them away while also melting down the blocked door. I managed to get through, and in the next room, found the same creatures attacking the core of the divine tree. I quickly sorted them with a few well-placed harpoon shots, and was about to call it a day when...
Oh my gosh, that's a big boy. Or a big girl, I don't know. It's big. Grand. I don't have a gun.
I wasn't on my own for this fight, however, as Dr. Bacon and Duff's drone had come to help me. Dr. Bacon soon realised that this was the legendary Yowie, the creature fed on the divine tree fruit by that crazy sea people technician thousands of years ago. In preparation for the fight ahead, the drone morphed into its battle mode.
If you press right click, you can temporarily manipulate time. What has this game become?
Yowie was no pushover and threw everything she had at me.
Alright. Oh my god, they come back for more. They come back for more. It's become a bullet hell game. Jeez.
This included green orbs of explosivity and babies to do her bidding. Duff soon realised we'd need something stronger to defeat her.
The limiter. Why didn't you do that from the start?
So in between bouts of dodging Yowie's fire beam, I charged up the big guns.
Oh my god, are we finally done? Good lord.
I was in fact not done. Now I had to chase Yowie through a tunnel, still using the limiter, but also having to manipulate time to dodge the sheer amount of crap on the screen.
Are we done yet? Oh please, come on. Don't tell me it's escaping again.
Now it was my turn to run away in fear. Unfortunately, I hit a dead end and had no clue what to do next. Luckily, Yowie solved that problem. There was one of those big beam devices nearby, but I didn't have the strength to lift it alone.
I came and helped! Yay! It's the Avengers! Here we go. Ew. I'm not sure I want to take a piece of that adventure.
And with that, the Sea People's troubles were finally over. I returned to the village where we discussed the good news, and the game informed me I'd reached the end of the story. I enjoyed one final meal with friends at the sushi bar, and was treated to this lovely ending cutscene.
Wait, what? Wait, what is happening? What? Wait, no, wait, why are we in space now? Oh, okay.
You wouldn't believe it, but these credits are tied to an achievement. You have to blow up all of the names before the credits finish. I didn't quite make it the first time around, but I did score an achievement just for watching the credits. Ta-da! Luckily, Space Diver appeared as a game on my phone, so I got a second chance at sniping the developers.
Dev Killer wiped out all the developers, baby.
Now, normally I'd end the video here saying what fun I had playing Dave the Diver and I hoped you enjoyed the video, but my completion list wasn't finished. By this point, I not only wanted to get all the achievements and cards, but also capture every one of those weird fish for Udo, finish all the Eco-Watcher missions, max out my gear, fully upgrade the seaweed, fish and veggie farms, and come first in every seahorse race. So, achievements. Some of these were really easy to get. Change the interior of Bancho Sushi, research 30 dishes, sell 200 items to the blacksmith, I had collected a lot of stuff, feed the cats 20 times, and get photos of every Sea People mural for Dr. Bacon. A few took a bit longer, like reaching diamond rank in Cookster.
Finally. That took a long time.
Then there was the level 20 training achievement, with the last level being so bloody expensive, it took me a few nights of sushi serving to make the necessary 100,000 gold. Am I teaching Kyoko to serve customers or putting her through college? The God of Lightning achievement was a bit of a pain because I had to scour the glacial area in search of the fabled Mjolnir. I cannot say that. Mjolnir. It only had a small chance to spawn and could be practically anywhere. It took me a few hours of searching, so when I finally did find it, I was extremely happy.
Oh my god, finally. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, yes! I am Thor! Oh, now I just need to kill something with it. Did I get him? Yes, God of Lightning, caught a fish with Mjolnir. Yay!
But of course, the most annoying achievement for me was the Gyal, whatever they are. Raising just one of these buggers to maturity was boring enough, so having to do it 4 more times was absolutely mind-numbing. I think in the end I just started abusing the skip time feature to get it over and done with. Money wasn't much of an issue since I'd finished training Kyoko, so I threw what I had at Otto in order to fully expand the veggie farm and rice paddy for 2 more achievements. And then of course I had to do the same for my seaweed and fish farm to make things fair, despite there being no achievements attached to either of those. Good thing too, because my fish populations had kind of exploded.
Oh my goodness, that's a bit busy in there.
That only left the achievements that required patience. Firstly, there was the cooking challenge against the Gordon Ramsay lookalike. Once again, I did an amazing job cutting and frying, and Bancho was crowned the winner. Vincent gushed on about how delicious Bancho's food was, and rewarded me a cocktail dispenser. Something I'll never forgive him for, because using this thing on a busy night is the biggest pain in the arse you can imagine. There was one final challenge to complete, which saw Bancho come face to face with an old adversary. Lois had brought Chef Pastro Anto Giovanni to challenge Bancho, in a pasta cook-off of course.
Italiana.
I put my culinary skills to the test one final time, and despite Bancho's meal looking a little off-putting, Vincent crowned him the winner. Lois was appalled and reminded Vincent who was the sponsor of his show, to which Vincent let her in on some history. Back when he was a struggling chef, it had been Lois's father, Nolan, who'd shown him the ropes. Surprised by this revelation, Lois begrudgingly agreed to try Bancho's dish. Completely swayed and apologetic for being so prejudiced towards Bancho's food, she offered to open a new branch of Bancho Sushi for even more profit. True to her word, the new bar was up and running the very next day, and I finally got that manager achievement. I took a little break from achievement hunting to go finish those seahorse races. I did feel a bit of a cheat because a lot of my seahorses were super OP. Imagine putting a Shetland pony against Shergar in a flat-out race. The solo races were completed very quickly, which just left the team races. essentially the same thing, except it's a relay, and you have to tag in the next seahorse. It was a bit trickier to do, especially on the obstacle courses where it felt like I needed to roll my face across the keyboard to press the appropriate buttons. But I managed to get first in all of those, and I was finally done with this aspect of the game. I got those last upgrades to my gear to have everything maxed, and now it was time to get back into the fish hunting. But before I could set off, this Tomb Raider cosplayer called Clara rafted her way over. She claimed to be looking for a great white shark known as Klaus, which clued me in on another boss battle happening that night. Now, if there's only one time I could call bullshit in this game, the Klaus fight would be it. This guy has no telegraph for when he's about to charge, and his hitbox is so obnoxiously big that even if I avoided an attack, his turn animation would clip me anyway and cause me to take damage. Even worse, when I pushed him into the second phase, he got even crazier and started throwing fast-moving whirlpools at me. After much struggle, I managed to take him down with the help of Clara. I took my spoils and headed back to the boat, where Clara offered me a shark tooth necklace. Good, I can remember my hardships forevermore. With that out of the way, it was back to dealing with more manageable fish. This involved checking the cards or fish radar for missing 3 stars, and then visiting the relevant areas to catch them with my trusty tranquilizer. Honestly, it's a little bit boring to show because it was just a never-ending process of look up fish, find fish, sleep fish, catch fish. That sounds like a Dr. Seuss rhyme, doesn't it? There were a few cute moments though, like when the mother and baby humpback whales swam past for a photo shoot. Not one to be left out, Pinky turned up for a photo too.
What? The butt of a dolphin. Apologies, it wasn't the best photo.
Then there were these freaky guys munching on a corpse, which was decidedly less cute.
Okay, that's 3. What is this? What is this game? Come on.
Back to capturing fish as opposed to photos, and I only had the more annoying ones left to find.
The middle seahorse has a small chance to spawn when you lift up rocks to drop on crabs, and the last one is a chance to spawn when you deplete a ruby node. What the hell? How does anyone work that out? Come on, seahorse.
The ruby sea dragon was particularly troublesome, requiring me to deplete ruby nodes in the hope that it would spawn. It did take a number of visits to the glacial area, but I eventually found one.
Oh my god, finally! Oh my god, that took too many tries.
I got lucky one dive and ended up in the rare seaweed biome, so I took the opportunity to finish one of the Eco-Watcher missions that required this ugly sheep's head and the aggressive striped catfish. And with the tranquilizing and removal of a short fin Mako, the main series of cards was officially complete. The game had one final surprise for me though, a secret boss that would only become available once every main card had been collected. So off I went to do battle one last time. After the nightmare that was Klaus, I definitely wasn't looking forward to this. But I'm happy to report that Luska was much fairer. It's still a very difficult fight, but its attacks are easier to read, and I often got the chance to dodge with a QTE. And if I did get hit, it was usually because I was being overconfident and trying to land some extra greedy shots. A few well-placed bullets to Luska's butthole, and this hideous amalgamation was finally put to rest.
Oh my god, have we done it? Please tell me it's done. Please, please, this was way too long. This was like 10 minutes. It's like a goddamn WoW boss fight.
After the long and arduous battle, I filled my bags with shark meat, or was it octopus? And then I made my way back to the boat where Sato gifted me his precious cap as thanks. Next up was finishing my Eco-Watcher missions because their incompleteness was bugging me. I also crafted a max level net gun, something I should have done way earlier in the game to speed things up.
Yoink. Oh, this makes life so much better.
And that should be the last jellyfish. Awesome stuff. Here we go. Receive reward. Level 5, baby. That was very long-winded, but we got it done. Eco waterproof bag. Awesome. Increases weight limit by 30 kg. I mean, yay, but I don't really need it by this point, but thank you. And now it was time to hunt some freaks of nature. Again, there isn't really much to discuss here. It's really just finding fish and tranquilizing fish. Really, the fun of this DLC comes from just seeing how disgusting they are. I also couldn't get every aberration fish done in one night, as there were 3 separate areas to visit, so I ended up having to do a lot of time skipping in order to get to foggy days. My favourite creepy fishies were the horrifying bloodskin shark, and this derpy, bony wreckfish that I couldn't catch with conventional means. I had to come back on a separate day with my trusty net gun. Eventually though, every aberration was 3-starred. That left just one task on my completion list. I'd already done one fishmon, so next up was a wizard jellyfish that would teleport away if I got too close. Luckily, I had my trusty sniper rifle on hand to shoot it from afar. Next was the poison ghost squid. Very easy to deal with again. All I had to do was shine it with UV light to make it vulnerable, and then shoot it. The silver titan triggerfish was a bit trickier as I got my guns mixed up. Udo told me to use a weapon that would discharge electricity, but I'd stupidly brought a paralyzing weapon, not a shock weapon. Not knowing what would happen if I missed out on this week's fishmon, I closed the game via Task Manager so it wouldn't save, and after some reading, bought steel net sensor traps from Cobra. Great success! Next up was the spotted moray eel that got a little bit too close for comfort. Yay! Strange fish, captured 5 fishmon. Oh, awesome stuff. Nice. Next was the prismatic fanfish that could create mirror images of itself. Honestly, I don't really understand the mechanics of this one, but I still managed to catch it somehow, so yay! Then there was the creepy vampire squid that supposedly sucked blood and could explode, but I captured it so fast I didn't see either of these mechanics. The ice stingray was found in the glacial area and needed a fire weapon to defeat. Again, surprisingly easy with a strong enough gun. That just left one fishmon, the magma turtle. This time I'd need an ice weapon to finish this one off, and I found it deep inside the Divine Tree control room. While avoiding its spinning attacks, I'd shoot it plenty of times with my ice gun to freeze it, and then go in for a devastating melee attack. Repeat a few more times, and it was finally over. Wow, that was actually kind of easy. I thought that was going to be a lot tougher. Oh my goodness. And that's that. I'm done. So there we go. 100% of Dave the Diver plus some extras. I had such a great time playing this game, and I would honestly put it in my top 10 favourite games of all time. I'm hoping to do more videos like this in the future, so stay tuned. But for now, I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day, evening, or night wherever you are. Bye bye!